concept that people are not aware of. And you have said that this particular thing is going to be even bigger than SIP in the future, which is SWP, systematic withdrawal plan. If you could, first of all, SWP is also something which people believe too good to be true, right? Because it's very futuristic. People have to take timelines of 25, 30 years for this. First of all, if you can explain SWP in very basic terms, how does it work? How does it function? The history of it. And if you could give me an example as to how, let's say, a pitcher, let's suppose if somebody has fired or let's say has achieved financial independence and then he wants to start an SIP, what would be, let's say, the entire number is around?
Yeah. So, as the concept says, SWP, systematic withdrawal plan. This is exactly the reverse of SIP. In SIP, systematic investment plan, you invest every month from your bank account. So, we are in a job, we get a salary, we have savings, we put money in SIP. You do this for 10, 20, 30 years. What would result into? Huge corpus. Now you have come at a stage of life where you don't have any more active income. You can't put more money in SIP.
Right.
Jitna karna tha aapne kar diya. Now you have got a pot of money. You start reverse withdrawal, or you start withdrawal from that corpus on a monthly basis. So now money comes from your portfolio to your bank account in a reverse way. That's SWP. You're withdrawing systematically from your portfolio. So that's SWP. Now this concept has not been very popular in our country so far. Now it is gaining traction. SWP concept has been there for last 10, 15 years, but people didn't know. To me, this is going to be the biggest game because SWP gives you kind of a passive income, very consistent income, and the income that you want to get. See, when you do money in fixed deposits, whatever fixed deposit you have, bank will give you the rate which the bank is giving to everybody. You can't change that. If you want higher incomes, some month if you want lower income, you can't change that. You will get the same interest. But in SWP, you can decide how much monthly you want. That's the beauty. So let's take an example of 1 crore. You're 60, you got 1 crore. Now, suppose if it starts SW at 6%, which means 6 lakhs per annum, which means 50,000 per month. So you can comfortably get 50,000 per month for a long period. As long as this portfolio earns 10, 11, 12% return. The 4% that is not withdrawing is also compounding. That is the magic. The buffer which you didn't withdraw in the initial years will help you withdraw a much higher amount going forward. See, because today you might be doing 50,000 per month, but after 10 years, this 50,000 will not help you. Inflation is there, right? You need to increase it to 60, 70,000. That buffer which you didn't exhaust or you didn't use in the first 5, 7 years, by that time your portfolio value would have become 2 crore, let's say, in 7, 8, 9 years. So you are able to withdraw a much higher amount. So in SWP, every year you can increase your SWP amount in line with inflation. And at the end of 10, 15, 20 years, you can decide how much portfolio you want to leave for next generation. So again, in SWP, what happened, Vishwas, you have 2 options. You can exhaust the entire portfolio in your lifetime and you don't want to leave anything, which means then it gives you the flexibility to enjoy a higher corpus, high withdrawal. In India, most parents don't want to exhaust the corpus. They want to leave a legacy for the children. So many people come to us and says, look, if suppose we have a portfolio of 2 crores at retirement, right? We want to enjoy the fruits of this corpus. We don't want to touch the corpus. If we are no longer there, this 2 CR should go to our children. Then we say, then you have to manage within that bracket, right? Now, the risk with SWP is that unlike bank FDs, there is no guarantee here. It all depends on the kind of portfolio. If you have a conservative portfolio, your portfolio might give you 7-8% return. If it is a hybrid portfolio mix of equity and debt, it can give you around 10% return. And if it is a pure equity portfolio, it can give you 12%, 13% kind of return. Now, you can do SWP from any of these category of fund. SWP is a concept, just like SIP, you can do in a debt fund also, in an equity fund. SWP also you can do in any fund. So, most people generally do this from a hybrid fund, where the return expectation is around 10%. You are withdrawing 6 to 7%. There is a 3% buffer that helps you withdraw a much larger corpus later part of your life. That's the right strategy. But if you are doing SWP from an equity fund, which is also okay, there is no problem with that. But mind you, equity funds are more volatile. And if equity funds go on a decline when markets are not doing well, and it is for a 2-3 year period, and at the same time you're withdrawing money from that portfolio, that's a double whammy, because you are pulling out your money at a time when markets are also going down.
That's a lot of stress at the time.
That's a lot of stress. The portfolio value will deplete much faster.
And let's say, can people do a combination? Let's say, like you told me 3 categories.
Correct.
Can I, let's suppose I have a corpus of today 5 CR, and let's say my withdrawal rate is 6% on that. Now, can that 6% be a 2% of each? Like from 2% from a pure equity portfolio, 2%, let's say from a debt, and let's say an hybrid.
Yeah, it is possible. You can do any kind of combination you want. Right. People like me who are very aggressive, I might do only from equities. Right. People who are very conservative. So again, another concept is very, very interesting. In SWP, you can have 3 buckets. The one concept you mentioned, which is again a unique. What you can do, you can say, okay, I have 1 crore, 20 lakhs I'll put in a safe category. I'll right now withdraw from here. I'll not touch my hybrid. I'll not touch my equity. Let them
Right,
grow. So after
right.
5 years, this equity would have doubled, in 6 years. Then I'll again use lump sum and put it in debt and again withdraw from debt. So I'm not touching my hybrid or equity. Let them grow. I'm using my debt. As this debt corpus depletes, I'll again withdraw from here, put in debt, and again start withdrawing from here. All possible combination is possible.
Right, I think, but yeah, there's still a lot of education. Even I got to know a few things which I didn't like you can do this hybrid thing and you can withdraw money like that, because that's also what, let's say, diversification within in
yes.
SWP.
Absolutely. If you know that markets are going, you can actually reduce your SIP also for some months, right?
Right,
You know that there is pain, COVID happened, and kharcha bhi to nahi tha us waqt.
right,
So if somebody was withdrawing 2 lakhs before COVID, you don't need 2 lakhs in COVID, right?
Right.
And markets are going down. So you withdraw 20,000 right now.
Right.
You can live life on 20,000 also. People have lived on. So the beauty is that entire flexibility lies with you. And it is all online. You don't have to submit paper and stuff. You can be anywhere in the world and you can go. That's the beauty.
Absolutely.